So let's have a look at the Affinity Photo. It's version 1.9. Now the first thing you might notice, standard screen comes up, a welcome screen, tutorials and samples, but there are a few additions. Let's have a look there. That's a login screen if you like. My account, manage account, sign out, my purchases. These purchases come as part of the download option when you test flight Affinity Photo version 1.9. Tells you all you need to know there. We don't need to really go into that. And that's available on the screen, right at the top there. Now, preferences, general. I've already set some of these, and you can see on this side, I've set all of them to on. Retina rendering only, I haven't set that one on. Assistant options, I haven't touched that. Default save location on my iPad. Language is default, that's the iPad. The interface you've got is background grey level, left hand mode no, automatically hide the user interface. Now that's fairly straightforward. That means if you go to the edge of the boundaries of your screen, and you're probably familiar with this, the user interface will automatically hide itself. On-screen modifier keys, yes. Text in points, yes. Now you may not be used to using points for text, but it's the professional method, so I'll leave that on. And lines in points. Show, undo and redo buttons. Now some people like to have them on or off, but I prefer them on because I'm always making mistakes. And the rest of it's fairly straight. Colours. There's the default colour profiles. And you can probably leave those set as they are, unless you have a particular reason to change them. The tools. Create text with blend gamma. Nudge distance is 1 pixel. Modifier nudge pixels 10 pixels. Select object when intersects. Synchronize tools. Allow canvas rotation and touch for gestures only. You can leave those. Now pencil. Enable double tap, so you can double tap on something to undo it. You're probably used to that already. Fonts, now there's no fonts installed yet. Well, this is the beta version, so there's hardly any point in installing fonts because they'll probably go away when you try and install a new version. But it's the same process as the earlier version 1.8, so same principle. Now shortcuts look a little different. Apply to all personas if they're available, and the persona is photo, or selections, photo, selections, liquefy and develop. Let's leave it at photo. Now these apply really if you've got an external keyboard attached to your iPad. I don't use one myself because I'm using an iPad mini, and it's pretty pointless having an iPad if you've got to lug a keyboard around with you as well. You may as well sit at your desk. Reset, you can reset everything, some, a few, or all, or none. Benchmarking, you can run the benchmarker. And although for test flight that's probably valid, but for any other reason, probably fairly pointless. But back to general. Okay, had a look at that. That's done. Now, let's have a look at the help, the question mark. You'll see a slightly different interface there. Haze removal? Nope, no idea how I got to that. All I did was tap the little dot beside the introduction. Let's close that. Back we go, back to help, the help screen. You can see that there's 2 arrows there. And for some reason it goes into, and this is version 1.9 for you. Off it goes and finds its own things to do. Now you can do that. You can move it with your finger. Selection, refinement, curves, you can find all sorts of things But if you tap on those arrows, what you get is what's underneath where you tap. So the arrow is probably just indicating you can go left or right. User support forums and online tutorials are underneath that image there, obviously. What is Affinity Photo? Key features. Very well worth reading slowly down that list, but I won't go through it now, of course. That you'll find that the help screen is a little different, but what you still can't do, let's put out global colours. Global colours indicated by a white tab in the bottom right hand corner of its colour swatch. Well, that's great, but what I'd really like to be able to do is print out this help file, this help screen, or have it in another window so that you could have side by side with this one. Now Affinity Photo still doesn't do no, can't get it to do it. Still doesn't do split screen. Now if that was available in split screen, that help file would be of some use, but who's going to stop what they're doing, go way back here and check the help screen? Okay, let's go and have a look at this. New document, new from clipboard, new from template. Everything is fairly similar there. Stacks, cameras, batch jobs, HDR, and new project. Projects are quite useful. That's the one down the bottom. Let's cancel that. This one here, quite a useful thing that, because it means you can create a project. You can put all your working files in the project and they don't clutter up the home screen. Now, import from photos. Let's pull the access photos. Yes, allow access to the photos. 123 RF, there's a few things I've already got there. Let's try that one there. And what we've got there, pull it straight in, and we've just got the one layer there, and the layer defaults to locked when it pulls in. There's our undo and redo and undo buttons, and brushes. We've got basic brushes, watercolours, Inksy Street Art 2. That's the one that just downloaded, and that's loaded it straight in, so that could be really useful. They're loading in. Now let's have a look at this one. Dirty Spray Shadows. It's fairly tight. We want some colours. Let's make it a green like that. 150 pixels, opacity 100. And there we go. And we've done it on the original. You can see that now. It thinks it's on the original. What we do is put a pixel layer on there. Go down there, undo the pixel layer. Just keep tapping that till we undo all the brushwork. Now we'll put on a pixel layer, go to there and paint on the pixel layer. Non-destructive, you see. Now if you want to get rid of that, you just remove the layer. That's very nice. And the fact that it loaded those brushes in from the download, that's very useful. I haven't seen it do that before myself, so there you go. Very nice. And that's, there we go, we've got one left there. And that's a quick look at Affinity Photo version 1.9. Does it say that anywhere there? There we go, version 1.9, right up there in the top. iOS 14.2. and so on. Let's close that.